Hi, Algebra. Today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how we use graphs to relate to quantities. We're getting into the whole unit about functions, and we did a little bit of vocabulary, talked about what a function is and what is not a function. So today, 9:14:18, we're going to using graphs to relate to quantities. And I'm going to be on 17, maybe not. I'm going to be on 21 and 22. Okay. All right, so we talked about, whoops, I forgot all my pens. We talked about x and y yesterday, and x is always going to be your independent variable. Okay. A little bit of background, just so we're all on the same page. Your x and your y, independent and dependent. And we use this a lot in science as well. Okay. And remember, when you have a point on a graph, I know that this is a review and you're probably, oh, this is boring. Okay, when you do a point, your x comes first. So if this is 1, 2, and your y, 1, 2. Okay, you always walk to the elevator. Before you go up or down. Okay, in other words, you have to go back and forth on your x-axis, left or right, before you can go up or down, okay? So this is a coordinate plane, and a way to remember that is with a C. This is coordinate 1, coordinate 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and your signs are always positive, positive. Here, they're going to be negative x's and positive y's. Here, they will be negatives and negatives. And in your fourth quadrant, they will always be positive x's and negative y's. Okay? Let's talk about a little bit about independent and dependent. So your x, being independent, let's pretend, we'll go ahead and write y is your dependent. That's right, y'all start writing cursive. High school, you're gonna have to take quick notes. All right, so an independent might be, how about the number of songs performed at a concert? Okay, and so the y, the y would actually be the duration of concert. Okay, so how long the concert is depends on the number of songs. Okay, let's do, all right, the last dance that we did. The number of, yes, that's a number sign, not a hashtag. So number of students at dance. Okay, my dependent, my y, was the amount of money raised. Okay, so that's why your y many times you depends on money. Could be distance. These are examples. Okay, x is the independent is usually time. Okay, a number of people, number of songs. pretty straightforward. But I want to do a couple and just talk about, because in 8th grade math, 8th grade science, you're going to have you're going to have to read motion graphs and read lots of graphs. So what I want to do is I want to get out the book. Actually, I'll just copy it. Okay. Let's just take a couple of these graphs right here. So what you have, if you notice, and these are all in your book, it's on page 55, and so you can follow along if you want or just look at the picture. But if you notice the model rocket flight, so we have some rocket, and you notice that your x, your independent, is the time, and your independent is the height. Okay, so this picture is actually describing the motion of that rocket. So as time, you'll notice that in a short period of time, it rose what? Quickly, didn't it? And then all of a sudden it hit up in the air. That's when the rocket stops going. It loses its momentum, and it starts to fall quickly. The parachute opens. So now what happens? The height is going to be the height to the ground, or the distance is going to go much slower. Okay, so you're falling slowly here. So honestly, this really kind of looks like what? Yeah, what the rocket would actually do. Maybe not in this direction. Look at this one right here. Air in a balloon. Over time, what's happening here? So you're blowing it up. The graph shows the volume of air in a balloon as you blow it up until it pops. So you notice the volume is going to quickly go out. So there is no volume at this moment in time, okay? And as you're blowing it up, you reach a point where you have to grab air, right? And then you're blowing again, so the volume increases. You stop because you have to inhale so you can exhale again into the balloon. Okay? Now, are all these functions? Not right here. Not right here. Okay? Let's see. Look at these right here. Okay? So if you notice the number of pounds, okay, the total cost, number of pounds of a product, why would, I'm only going to do the first one, why would you have a steady decrease? It's not as steep, is it? Why would that be? Well, when you buy more of something, usually the price does what? It goes down. And that's why you're not making as much money here, or the cost is not as expensive. So you have the same cost here, but when you reach a certain point, it becomes much cheaper. Okay? So what I want you to do, today you have 2 assignments. I want you, in your journal, on the left-hand side of the page, I want you to do page 56. Yes, okay, so page 56. And I want you to do 1 through 9 below in your journal, okay? And I want you to do question 10. That's a good one. That's all. The only other thing that I do want you to do is I have an assignment where you will cut these out, okay? You only have 12 of these, and what you're going to do is you're going to match it with the verbal description. So the verbal description, you'll cut these out. You're not going to use all of these, okay? Not all of these will go to these graphs. And you will place it below, and you'll cut all these out, and I want to put these in your journal, okay? So all 12 in your journal. Obviously in the next 2 pages, because I do want page 56 here. And guess what? I'm going to let you talk about it. I really want some verbal communication as to talking about the graphs. What do you think? Well, I think that this is happening. It's really important to be able to explain what the graph is doing and for you to be able to do that. So you will have the remainder of the period. Please make sure that even when you are talking that you're not being disruptive. We're not going to be in a lesson today, so you should be fine. But just be on your best behavior. Thanks, Algebra.